Am I live? They say I'm live. I'm live and I'm screen sharing. And I want a steady microphone, so hopefully we don't lose audio there. Let me see how I'm doing on the YouTube. Folks, it's a beautiful day here in Northwest Ohio. New channel. I am live. I don't want to be sniffling. You might hear me sniffling a little bit here. Northwest Ohio. New channel. I am live. I don't want to be sniffling. All right, so you can hear me. I'm going to mute myself for a second. Hold on. That's much better. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It is me, Mike V, aka Get Good Dad, aka AI Guy, hanging out here today. Gonna play around with some AI, get some stuff done. I taught a class, Applied AI in Design Thinking, aka Creative Problem Solving. I taught that on Friday, and I didn't know what was going to happen with the class. Sometimes you're like, kind of like, hey, I don't know exactly who's who, what's what this is going to be. Long story short, I didn't prepare a lot. I mean, I've been preparing my whole life for that moment, but I really didn't prepare slides, yada yada, all that happy stuff. So what I did instead is I recorded that conversation, or recorded the class, recorded the conversation or the discussion. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to take those two pieces, those two artifacts before and after lunch where we had our class time, and I'm going to use AI to turn those into content. For lack of a better way to say it, the most simple thing, identifier is content. This is lesson instructional content as a subset. But really what I'm going to show today should be something that anybody can use to take a meeting minutes or a meeting conversation and then break it down and use it. So there are tools that can create meeting notes and action items and all these other things that require intense integration and commitment, and that's fine. But we can start to think about laying a foundation for a system that would work no matter how we choose to communicate. So we don't get bought into tools, except maybe our AI tools, but we're using AI to build tools, which is a different way to think of it than just using AI to get you an outcome in the moment. I'm already talking too much. Holy smokes, folks. Here we go. What are we going to do first? Look at me. Look at me here. Sitting over here, I've got my GitHub account. I got a whole bunch of stuff in this freaking in my documents folder, right? Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Let's go ahead and I'll use our friend Claude over here. Hey, Claude, how are you? Clean up my documents folder. We'll see what it says. So I'm using Claude Desktop app. If you go to Claude.ai, I believe you can build it here. This is like downloading Windows, downloading Office, downloading any application to your computer, program to your computer, application program, same freaking thing, to your computer. And then you can interact with it locally on what we're calling your machine. This is your local machine, okay? Claude would like to co-work in that. Okay, I'm going to allow that. So I'm using what's called Claude Co-work. I don't know if Claude will give me any prescription things here, but I'm going to go ahead and if I go to Claude AI, here we go. I'm logged in. This is the web interface. I can do a lot of stuff. I am paying, full disclosure, I am paying $200 a month for Claude, so I'm getting I think all the features, at least. I don't even know what my account really gives me. You can use it here in the a Windows browser. This is a Chrome browser. I can also use it to go to oh geez, where do I want to go? Let's go to LinkedIn. Y'all can check me out on LinkedIn. And then over here, I can this is the Claude web extension. And I'm going to go ahead and write oh, hi, Keith. Write a post about AI and design. Let's see what it says. There we go. Claude comes up with a plan. Draft a LinkedIn post about AI and design. Context, it knows where we're at, so it's making an assumption about what we wanted to do. It's going to navigate to the post creation, type the content. We'll approve that plan, see what happens. How you doing, Celeste? All right, here we go. Here we go. Back over here, and keeping your tabs organized. This is pretty wild. Over here, you can see. This is Claude that we downloaded to our desktop app application, and it is now let me get a fuller picture of the loose files and sizes before proposing a plan. So right now, Claude is analyzing the folder structure, my documents folder structure. Cool. Within Claude desktop app, you have 3 kind of versions of it here. You've got the chat, which is your traditional chat like you could do over in the web interface, or your mobile phone app interface. Then you have Cowork, which allows you to do more things. And then you have Claude Code, which allows you to basically develop software applications, scripts, tools to help you do what you do. What should cleanup focus on? Organize loose files, remove system junk. Yeah, all of those. We're going to do all those things. How should I handle changes? Move only, never delete. Well, let's do show plan first. We like a little bit more visibility here. What is this bad boy doing now? Debugging modal dialog accessibility issue. So I've heard that LinkedIn is pretty locked down on being scrubbed and scraped and interacted with. Scraping web, you're just pulling off information from a page, which requires a level of interactivity, and that, now it's doing it via a screenshot, right? So it couldn't parse what the page was. Not going to talk about that too much today, but the Claude could not understand what the page was comprised of through its code, how the code generates the page. And now instead it's going in and taking a screenshot so we can analyze the image to look at the page. Maybe trying to figure out where to click, or who knows. Oh, there we go. Figured it out. Sweet. AI is changing design, but not in the way. Oh, there we go. We'll read it when we're done. You want all 4? I'll show you a plan before changing anything. Again, so back over here, Claude desktop application using Claude Cowork. Bingo, bango, bongo. These are the 2 tools, 3 tools I'm going to start with. Well, we'll call it 2 tools, right? Because everybody, I think, is probably at this point understanding and being comfortable with what you can do with chat within ChatGPT, whatever Google and everybody else has, Grok and Claude here. Check this. Am I still muted? That would be hilarious if I was muted that whole time. That would have been hilarious. Oh, there we go. There's the post. I was saying something, but chat. We're going to work with Cowork, and then this Claude extension just for this demonstration purposes, and then we're going to move into the tool that I'm using that's allowing me to do multitask and get a whole bunch of stuff done, which is pretty cool. I shouldn't say we'll call it multitasking, but really we're talking about task hopping. It's interrupted by the user. Is that me? What did I do? Let's go. Where did we go? There, recap. All right, so I am doing some work over on the side over here, so you have to bear with me a second. Did I have that turned on? Talk to me. So I'm using Claude, and I can't show you this because it's client stuff, but Claude in what's called the command line interface. And right now it's done some work and it's coming back to me. Reformat the outlines. Okay, that's fine. Resync the design folder, run phase. Open the issue. Open the meta issue. Well, I'll be showing you this here in a little bit, but for right now, we're going to see what happens. All right, got to do this off screen. All right, so this post here, there is the post. Would you like to post it as is, or would you prefer any edits? Well, let's see what it said first. Maybe it calls me an idiot, and we don't want to put
Meta
that out
issue
there.
number 739. Onboarding. IDLE Specialist 4. Open. Chain progress. Row. Status.
So that is Claude in the command line interface hooked up to speak to me as part of its process. And now I'm going to look at an issue over here detailing where we're at with this build. And no, we should be on. So now I'm going to talk to my computer. Let's stick with phase 5. Why are we going backwards? That's me talking to my computer. We'll see what it says. AI is changing design, but not in the way most people think. It's not replacing designers. It's shifting where the real work happens. A few things I'm noticing. The bottleneck is no longer execution. With AI tools, you can generate mockups, iterate on layouts, and explore visual directions in minutes. The hard part is now taste, judgment, and knowing which direction is actually right. Systems thinking is more valuable than ever. AI, AL, excels at generating options. Designers who understand how those options fit into a broader project, brand, or user experience are the ones driving real impact. Prompting is a design skill. What the freak? This is beautiful. Crafting the right prompt isn't just a technical trick. It requires clarity of intent, visual vocabulary, and the ability to give feedback. That's design thinking applied to a new medium. The best designers are using AI to do more of what only humans can do, asking better questions, challenging assumptions, and advocating for the user. AI hasn't lowered the bar for great design. If anything, it's raised it because now there are fewer excuses for poor decisions. What's your experience been? Is AI making you a better designer or just a faster one? Holy mackerel. 100. Okay, I can't, yeah. 100% AI generated. Does this sound like me? Does this look like me? Probably and predominantly because
Fair
if you
challenge. Let me be clear about why, because it's not really row to rework. Why phase 1 produced 0 lessons? The
I don't know if
extractor
you can hear this or
scaffolds the
not.
lesson tree by reading the lesson list out of the course outline. Our outline lists lessons in tables.
So now it was just telling me, talking to me, right? Now I'm just going to read it because sometimes reading is easier for some of these more complex things. Say, recognize the bulleted layout. Okay, go. So once I confirm, and then let's go. And again, we'll be playing with that in a hot minute. So, like, does this sound like something I would say? Yeah. Does it look like how I would say it? Yeah, especially if we do this, right? Simply because I am almost always using AI to literally, with the words prompting, make better to make things better. This format and structure that I post typically does look like AI. Very cool. Let's see. Let's read this one more time. You guys getting a look actually under the hood on how Mike Vanderpool does things, right? There's a class AI game design. See what I did there? And here is our post. AI is changing design, but not in the way most people think. It's not replacing designers. It's shifting where the real work happens. A few things I'm noticing. The bottleneck is no longer execution with AI tools. You can generate mockups, iterate on layouts, and explore visual directions in minutes. The hard part is knowing taste is now, knowing, but also now, the hard part is now taste, judgment, and knowing which direction is actually right. Systems thinking is more valuable than ever. AI excels at generating options. Designers who understand how those options fit in a broader product, brand, or user experience are the ones driving real impact. Prompting is a design skill. Crafting the right prompt isn't just a technical trick, it requires clarity of intent, visual vocabulary, and the ability to give feedback. That's design thinking applied to a new medium. The best designers are using AI to do more of what only humans can do, asking better questions, challenging assumptions, and advocating for the user. AI hasn't lowered the bar for great design. If anything, it's raised it because now there are fewer excuses for poor decisions. What's your experience been? Is AI making you a better designer or just a faster one? Well, that is a good friggin' post, dude. I mean, right? You know, that's so good. Let's do this. We're just going to keep showing you under the hood, folks. We're just going to keep rocking and rolling here. Oh, here's our report back from our friend who is doing the document cleanup. Here's what I found, what I propose. System junk, we can delete some files, fabulous. Organize the 18 loose files at the top level. We've got some invoices, some school stuff, some media, some images, some design, some miscellaneous. Cool. Large files, the bulk of your storage is raw footage, audio, and cards reviewed and cards to review. Yep, yeah, it's a lot of footage because that's what I do. Duplicates 1, confirmed exact duplicate, verified by hash. There we go. Jackie's export the file. Okay, we can get rid of that. And not real duplicates. How would you like to proceed? Let's delete the system junk. Let's organize loose files. Let's delete that. Oh man, I really do want to investigate those cards. Yeah, let's do it all. It'd be so fascinating to see how well it could help me organize my footage. As somebody who makes media, and I'll show you maybe what it's talking about, right? So in my documents folder, here's cards to be reviewed and cards to be viewed. And just so you know, private's not weird. There's nothing in there. But private is the name of what Sony does. So it's not my private stuff. Dear Lord, I wouldn't show you guys that stuff. And some of the stuff is empty, obviously, still. So maybe, yeah, this could be phenomenal, right? Tell me something good. Bam, bam. How come I can't see? Are there no files in here? Folders in here? There've got to be. Yeah, there's some. There are some files, wave files. It might be having to sync and download those. We should probably not do that. Because then it's going to try to sync. Oh, no, these are in my documents folder. These are local. Never mind. Oops. Bring that back. Bring that funky track back. Bring that funky track back. Okay. So what I was thinking potentially with that LinkedIn script, and if you don't know, I'm still doing my work through my phone interface. I have Claude connected to my phone, which I'll also show you later. So I can work everywhere now. But what I'm thinking with that LinkedIn post is actually take that LinkedIn post, put it as a script in my transcript application or my video recording application, and actually then just make that a video as well. Although I'm not really sure I want to spend a lot of time doing video. I've got too much other work to do. If we can figure out a solution for video to make it move a little bit faster, of course, 100% we'll do that. All right. So that's going. What happened to our friend here? Nope, that's me. Didn't we have a friend back here? Yeah, here's me. All right, so that was just a LinkedIn post. That's using Claude Chrome extension. We can just make that go away. But basically, you can make Claude press buttons on your machine. Okay, so now I want to work on a project. This project was the, this is what we're going to do. I'm using a tool called GitHub. Just trust me on this right now. You'll see here's a whole bunch of projects. Come in here, and I think I have AWID classes, creative problem solving, and recording. So I've already have this set up. So in my documents folder, I have a folder called GitHub. I have Anthony Wayne Innovation Design classes, and I got a folder here. And then this folder, hey boo, was that low? Yeah, it's low.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this folder here is already set up for my recordings. Okay, so this is nice. So I'll show you what we're going to do here. I'm going to come in here, and I have Claude installed on my computer. You can do that later. Share a link to how to install it. It's fairly simple. Come in here, and I'm going to say services, and I'm going to new terminal at this folder. I think there's a hotkey to do it too. There's hotkeys for everything, but I'm lazy. But not lazy enough to use hotkeys. And then what happens is this bad mamma jamma pops up right here, and we'll just go ahead and allow Claude to permanently delete files. Yes, this is another nice feature here is Claude at least asks before it deletes things. So if you're not familiar with what the terminal is, let me break down the terminal a little bit for you here. And again, you may not be able to see this, but whatever, you'll be okay. Can I file view? There's got to be a way to zoom bigger. View. Probably just tell it, right? If I go into Claude, I'm typing the word Claude because that starts Claude in my command line interface, my terminal. So Claude is now running here. The terminal is the way that you just type commands to interface with the computer versus clicking a graphic user interface with the mouse or pointing and clicking. This is how we talk to our computer, and I can say, hi, computer, from here. If I was not didn't have Claude loaded, I'd have to write very specific code in order to get the computer to do what I want it to do. Claude here, Opus 4.8, is serving as the translator between what I type and what the computer needs to do, what the computer needs to do. Because the computer and how it does things is very specific. It's still code. It's the one thing I think everyone needs to understand. Everything that you see on your screen, everything that you interact with is foundationally code. And I'm not saying that you need to be a coder, but the more you understand about how code works, how programs work, how they're designed, how they function, that's going to make you a better user of this technology that's built 100% on all of computing, fair amount of computing and how computers work and how, yeah, you work with computers. You have to have this foundation at this point. If you don't, you are so far removed from even an awareness of what's going to be needed for the future of work, unless they turn us all into like, the Matrix. Thank you, Jeremy, for reminding us about that today at the AI Collective Toledo chapter lunch event that I was at. Thank you, Justin Beaudry. Thank you, Keith Instone. Beautiful thing, Toledo T-Town, making it happen. So now we are in this folder here. And how can we tell? Well, underneath my little Claude code doodidder, documents, GitHub. So I'm going to say, make this terminal text larger. See what happens. So there we go. Keep that one moving. This is what I'm doing off screen here. So terminal text size is controlled by your terminal app.
Text size is controlled by your terminal app, not by Claude Code. On Mac OS, the shortcut.
If you can hear that, I've got my Claude wired in to be able to talk back to me. I did that using the assistive voice technology built into the computer and some other thing under the hood, which I actually don't even know how it works. But I'm okay. I don't need to know how everything works. Terminal size is controlled by your terminal app. Okay, to make it permanent, go into your settings. Well, go ahead. I'm using the CLI. Apple terminal on my Mac. I'm using the Apple terminal on my Mac. Can't you just adjust it for me? I also have the voice command turned on. Now this is native to, and by native we mean installed there off jump at the beginning. The voice here, toggle voice mode on and off. And that just means I'm speaking. So it listening and hearing me is this voice command. It talking to me is something completely different.
Font is now 16 pints, up from 11 pints. You should see the text got bigger immediately. A couple of notes. This applies to the current win.
It looks bigger, right? I think. Let's see. Let's grab this one over here. Oh yeah, that's bigger. Because this is what's running here. I have Caffeinate, which is a application, bit of software code that keeps my computer from completely falling asleep, because then I can use my my Claude. My computer is running. My computer is running, so Claude can run on it, even though the display and it prevents from sleeping. So then I can, even when I'm away from my computer, I can use the Claude app on my phone to interact with the machine, like I'm doing right now. So there's another Claude thing running off camera that you can't see on the same computer. I've wired into my phone, so boom, allow once. Oh, you can't see. Well, there's a phone. I'm pressing the phone, folks. All right. So I think that's bigger. That's large enough to read. I think that's okay. Increase size a bit more, please. Go to like 22. The one thing that you'll start to pick up as we continue using
to 22 pints. Let me know if you want to.
22 pints would be a long night. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right. So what should Claude do instead? Well, let's we are going to add some recordings to the audio folder. Those recordings are from a class that I gave discussing applied AI and design thinking, aka creative problem solving. I would like to turn all of those materials into course materials, lessons, questions, ideas for activities, and then presentations / interactives around some of the concepts, especially the core concepts of design thinking and foundational AI understanding. There we go. See what happens, right? All right. So this Bad Mama Jam is running, keeping my computer running over here. What's going on with my delete? Done. Your documents folder is cleaned up. Is it? Oh, I should have taken a screenshot before. Wasn't there loose stuff and gross stuff all over the place? Okay. Card 4, 5 investigation confirmed. Cards 4 and 5 in cards to review are the same SD card dumped twice, byte for byte identical, matching hashes, differing only in folder name capitalization. Neither contains any actual video, just leftover thumbnails and metadata, no clips. They're redundant. I didn't delete either. Two things worth your attention. The real storage hog is raw footage, audio and cards reviewed and cards reviewed. Yes, yes, yes. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So this did get organized, I guess. Does it feel, I guess it's better. Now my downloads folder is organized and my desktop is organized. Thanks, Claude. Still not perfect, right? But it's better than it was, I think. Okay. Organizing files, you can do that with Claude. It's pretty cool. If I were to go into, geez, I don't know, cards to review. Yeah, there's nothing actually on this anymore. Huh. These are some of the old interviews from the Make It Happen podcast. I've done all these. So those all can probably go away as well. All right, but we're not going to do that right now. Let's focus. Hocus pocus, GitHub, AWID. Here's our class, AWID problem solving. This is where we're going to see some things built. So let me change this view here. No, let's keep that view. That's a good view for us. All right, and if you can't see the screen, I do apologize, but there, we can do that for you. That maybe helps. We can probably just bring this over as well because we don't need all of that, right? Come on. Come on. Oh, come on now. There, I guess that's as good as we can go. Well, we don't need to see all of those. We don't want that. There we go. No, we don't. There we go. Fine. All right. So this was Claude over here. That's cool. Let's make that minimize. And let's go over here. Here's our AWID classes. This is where we're going to want to play the most. Did that screen size go back down? All right. This will be raw audio. No, we're going to upload the transcripts only. Yeah, we'll upload the transcripts only. So now, I've got these transcripts on my phone. And I think what I'll do, what's the best way to do this? I'm just going to email these to myself. Right? Sometimes that's the best way to do some of these things, especially as just text transcripts, because I can download them from email anywhere. I suppose I could put them up in Google Drive. 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. You still got to move them. So I use a application called Recorder on my phone, and this is what
the important thing is. There is no one tool that does all the
Row
things.
5 status.
There you go.
Phase 0 plus phase 1 done. Checkmark. Scaffold built. Drive courses. IDLE specialist for 4 modules, 12 lessons.
Sweet.
Content instructor.
All right, last piece to close row 5. Yes. Go. All right, so now I'm going to click this file, click on share. It allows me to share the transcript as a text file. That will go to me in Gmail. I could, you know what I could do? I can probably just Slack myself these. That's the tool that's been the most effective for me, honestly, but translating between things. That'll be funny that I say this. Would be Slack. She'll share transcript, share text, next. Share it in, if it'll let me share in Slack. Slack in Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design, Slack it to myself. So if you don't use Slack, it's just a chat like Teams. It has some cool stuff going on in it with file storage and everything else. Slack. Come on, why do I want to automatically go to Toledo Codes? I mean, I love my Toledo Codes friends, but come on. Make that machine move over there. So, all right. So now, here we go. I've got a clear picture of the project now. Quick summary of what I'm working on. Static GitHub page site for AWS. No build steps. What is the repo? There's already an applied AI and design thinking class in JSON and a slideshow system. Slide.js. Sweet. So the site already has presentation interactive infrastructure. A new folder exists. This is the one thing, folks. I have read more and had to think more than ever before using AI like I do. I mean, that's just the reality. You can't 100% trust it, which means you have to read it and review it and understand what you're trying to do with it and how it's doing what it does. And that's the skill for the future. Because who has made the most money up until this point with computers? Software developers. It may or may not be fair to say, but as a broad group of people, I'd say software developers or career people with careers or a career type. What could those people do? They could make computers do things. What does AI do? It changes the skill set required to do things, but still includes the foundational things that software developers do to do things. Write that down. So before we design anything, let me flag the scope and ask one question at a time. What you've described is really a pipeline of several distinct stages, and I don't want to design them all as one tangle. So here's the thing. I think I've already built this, but I'm going to do it in a small scale here, right? Because I want to show you how I would do something here. Is that still doing it? That's still working. What you really described, so we're going to ingest the recordings. We'll distill it, pull out the core concepts, create the course materials, and build the presentations. They're independent enough that we give its own section plan rather than one giant design. I can agree with that. I'd suggest we brainstorm the whole pipeline at a high level today, and then drill into stage one. I don't think that's what we want to do, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to chat about this. Okay, I think our plan works.
Transcripts only. That makes stage one trivial. No audio handling. So the real.
That's where sometimes it's a pain when you use the voice, because it'll pick up its own voice. So when we look at the entirety of this system, let's define the system as we built it. So create a design document as a markdown file that will each decision that we make about the process is documented. Perhaps that's with every prompt. There's a summary of every prompt and response and result that could work in that log. So we'll do this step by step. I'm going to put the audio files, I'm going to put the text into the transcript folder, and then we'll have a conversation about the very next step. We're going to build this step by step and not system wide. And why am I doing it this way? Why am I doing it this way? New folder, transcripts. I could have Claude do that, but sometimes, man, I feel like I'm being really, really lazy with Claude. Let's go to our Gmail here. This will be off screen. Right, boom, slot clock, boom. Where am I? Oh, it wasn't Gmail, it was Slack. It's Slack. There's my Slack. Slack attack. Anthony Wayne Innovation and Design. Where's me? There's me. There's the transcript one. Download this to Documents. GitHub. AWID. Recordings, transcripts.
Created
Save
the
one.
Living Log Act. AWID Creative Problem Solving Design Log MD. It has 3
Save
parts.
2.
Decisions, a running list of settled choices, seeded with the 3-week.
Sweet. So here's our creative problem solving design log. Look at that file. This is where it is right here. Sweet. I love it. I like it. I love it. Session log. Cool. I'm going to highly recommend that you, when you start working with Claude in the command line interface and having these type of conversations, that you build a design log or some type of log, something that's tracking along the way what you're doing. Now, you will have to remind it to keep up. This is a good opportunity to talk about where AI is right now from my experience building things. AI is going to take entry-level employee jobs 100%. But it is also performing like an entry-level employee. It will make mistakes, even with a clear set of instructions in front of it. It'll go off, wander in different directions. It is something that if anybody is giving AI full control at a level beyond what I'm doing, I'm concerned for what's happening there. Although I'm sure that they're using better tools than I'm using. But still, yes, whatever that means. Oh, this back thing, man. Holy smokes. Hold on a second. We're gonna TV timeout. TV timeout for being old. So this is a red light thing. Like and subscribe. You can go to my wish list and buy yourself. Wait, no, Amazon affiliate. I should post some affiliate links. I'm old, and if you're old and it hurt your back sneezing, like I just did, red light. USB, so I can plug in, get in where I fit in. And now have some red light therapy on my back, Jack. It's got a really nice long cord too. And then you can see here, maybe, baby. Where'd my face go? Where did my face go? I have a face, don't I? Face in the place. There's my face. Can you see my red light? Oh yeah, there's the red light. I'll get that on my back, Jack. Yeah, pull a freaking muscle sneezing. Can you believe it? All right. So sweet. I've dropped the text in. So the text is in. Transcripts added. I'm loving it. Oh, hi.
Row 5 is now fully prepared. 2 PRs open for your review. Row 5, content scaffolding, complete, pending your merges, what, where, PR, outline bullet layout, phase 1 unblock, content unchanged, design documentation, number 783, phase 0 tracking, outline JSON, plus manifest, plus courses, sun status, plus bundles, curriculum tracking, number 168, clean.
All right, so now both PRs are ready to review. I'm going to open PR and review. PR means pull request, and we'll see what those look like here at some point too, I believe. Yes, we will. Read both transcripts. Here's what they contain. Foundational AI understanding was morning heavy. Design thinking creative problem. So that worked pretty well. So this is now showing me design log MD. This is adding to that. So this is saying ingested and read the transcripts. Beautiful thing. I can see it's doing the work here. We'll see more about what this green numbering over here is, but really this is just the green and the plus sign means addition, something's being added, and the line numbers are just lines of the text. They're just identifiers. It has no contextual meaning. And then the text here that we see is plain text. When we look at it later, we'll see it styled and look kind of cool. So step 1 is log. Now let's talk about step 2. Before we author any lessons, slides, we should distill the transcripts into structured concept inventory, a single document that captures every teachable idea in the recording. this is an important step for us here. And I don't want to overcomplicate it, but I also think I'm going to overcomplicate it, because I think it's a good time for us to be able to really start to see under the hood how this thing can work and how we can start thinking about uh, our inputs and how we can be more precise with our inputs in order to be able to get more of the precise outputs that we want from using the AI tool. So let's see here for a second. A single document that captures teachable step, organized into 2 strands: foundations, design thinking suite, a pointer back to where each one shows up in the transcript. Okay, I guess. And a note on the stories, demos you used to teach it: Jimmy John's, legal case, laser light, curriculum pipeline. Why this first? The transcripts are messy and nonlinear. That was me teaching. That's awesome. The same concept surfaces in several places. That's good, because that's how you reinforce things. And everything downstream should trace back to what you actually taught. The inventory becomes the source of truth, and it's exactly the kind of organizing the raw material. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to come back over here. What about parsing the...
Step 1 is logged. Now let's talk about step.
What about parsing the transcript content into JSON files?
Both PRs reviewed, both clean and correctly scoped, safe to merge. Checkmark DD number 708.
I wish I had headphones on, because then they couldn't hear what that was saying there. So let me go. Hold on. I like this idea of a concept inventory. Can we use JSON to make that happen? JSON, JavaScript object notation, is a code structure that uses what's called a key value pair, a key being color and the value being red or blue or green, whatever it might be. And using that data structure of property and value to key and value to organize information, organize data in a way where it can be transmitted and easily parsed / understood. So you'll see here, it's proposing a schema just being a structure here. Top level wrappers is a term. Let's listen to what it says.
Wrapper with metadata. Then a concepts array where every concept follows the same shape. The design choice is worth your eye. Strand plus phase, every concept is tagged to one of the 3 strands. Design thinking concepts also get a phase, others get no. This is what lets us later pull all the empathize phase material or all the AI ethics material programmatically. Stories, I capture your anecdotes demos separately, because those are what make the material teachable, and we'll reuse them in slides activities. Quotes, lightly cleaned, ASR fixed, but kept in your voice. Source approx lines, traceability, back to the transcript.
So that's pretty cool, right?
Nothing is invented.
So let's go. I deliberately left out anything generative, no auto-written quiz questions. Okay. Only captures what I taught. Sweet. So now we've taken and we can look at this, right? ID, there you go, the title, all the stuff, the summary, and then the key points. It's just, again, a way of organizing the information. That's what computers do. Information architecture, organization of information is foundational. So now we have taken our rambling transcript and turned it into some structured bit of code. Foundationally, like, this is what AI does, because the computer can only do what the computer does with code, whether it's taking in inputs or producing outputs. I mean, it's all, not all computers do, because they obviously compute and process what's to translate and to convert it input to an output. But this foundation here of taking ill-structured information and turning it into structured data is it. This is it. If you understand this, and not necessarily, right, if you can read this, you don't have to be able to ever write this, but if you can read this code and understand what's happening, you're your foundation is strong enough to move forward and truly understand what's happening under the hood here with technology. ID title, right? So the ID, it's a string of text here. There is no, those are all, this is interesting because that's not necessarily something that could be a unique identifier. The only thing I see with the schema is that I don't see like unique identifiers or primary keys. Would we even do that at this point? I don't know if this is the place we'd want to do that. But a primary key is something that is a single, can only be a single value, like a unique value. In this case, right, we may have other concepts that could have the ID. It's not magic, it's code, because based on the content, that could be the most logical ID name. What that means is we could have two concepts with the same ID that could cause us problems because it would introduce potential confusion if we were trying to search for things, find things, use things by their ID. The good instinct
Here's
to question.
the schema I'm proposing.
It's
A
cargo
top
cult
level
me.
wrapper with metadata, then a concepts array where every concept follows the same shape. The design choice is worth your eye. Strand plus phase, every concept is tagged to one of the three strands. Design thinking concepts also get a phase, others get no. This is what lets us later pull all the empathize phase material or all the AI ethics material programmatically. Stories, I
Cool.
capture your anecdotes demos separately because those are what make the material teachable, and we'll reuse.
The related concepts. So we're going to be building. Where are those concepts coming from? Oh, those are the key primary key numbers. Okay. Okay, I think this can work. I think that can work. All right, I'm going to just escape. So then, okay, just go. Oops, here we go. Escape. I'm going to pull it back out because I just read something. Go, and for the concept key, use a date 2026 0601 dash 001. The date of the actual statement and creation of the file. That's what we want to do, because then now globally we have date assigned, and that's chronologically is I would argue chronological organization is super important because new things may make out of date, reinforce, restructure things that were said before. I think that makes sense. Okay. All right, what else is going on over here now? So has it generated any files yet? No, we're just making a decision, so nothing's happening here yet. But we still have our two transcripts. That's cool. And again, those are the dates and times that we have here. Awesome blossom. This is taking a while, right? Now, obviously, some of that is me explaining things. Let me see here. Does anybody use Signal? I think I can use Signal. Oh, it is installed. I have Signal installed. Sweet. Yeah, sure, Signal. There we go. That's my phone number. Bum, bum, bum. Here's the verification code. It just got automatically filled out. First name. There we go. Create your PIN. 12345. 12345. Oh, hi, security folks. I don't know. All right, so yeah, I use Signal. I do have it now. There we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so building inventory. This is the substantive distillation process. Yeah, I mean those transcripts are, if you look at them, are an hour. There's a lot of scrolling here, right? Oh, it says it was created today. Oh, yeah, the file I guess was created today, but it uses the file name is the date time. So that's why I think it was when it was started. I think that's why using the date time here for the sequential will be super important. Oh no, hold on. I want you to use the date that the files were created. In this case, the file name, May 29th, is what we should look at. See, reading. I'm going to use the date because I told it that as the structure. Yeah. Yeah, but then there's no other meaning as to what it is within that, and that's kind of weird. Anyway, we'll look at that later. Keep that bad boy moving over there. Hello, hello. What you'll find is in the beginning stages of building things with AI that let's actually open up do some eBay and two while we're here. Right. So now I'm kind of like in this limbo-y space of waiting for my AIs to do what I need them to do. Because they're both in heavy process mode right now. You'll notice up front, you'll get a little bit of back and forth with questions. That's cool. Then when you ask AI to do something, especially a complex task, like in this case here, what we see on the left side of the screen, we're having it read through large documents and create those into data structures. That's a lot. That's a good amount of work. All right. Let's look at our eBay stuff. I do sell on eBay too, folks. If you're ever interested, I have 2 paid items to ship. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to print those after. All right. So I got my Bo Jackson here. Somebody won the Bo Jackson Topps Big League Rookie. I got my cards right here. G12 is the number. Got lots of nice cards in here. You know what we should do? We should actually sort these as we mess around. And right now, I'm literally just watching my AIs, waiting for them to finish what they're working on. Should I sing for the people? Sing for the people, sing for the year. These are all the new cards that I listed the other day. I thought one of these might sell, but it didn't. I had a Victor Wembanyama sell. Makes sense. I probably got beat up on the price just because. What are these? Why are those in top loaders? Is that a Shohei? There's a Shohei. Derek Jeter. All right. So G12 is the custom figure here. That's still going. That's still going. Mike, you are the most boring streamer of all time. Yes, I know. G. That's E11. That's G68. Oh, there it is. There's the Wembanyama I sold. Hi, Wemby. And then the Bo Jackson. Where's Bo? Bo knows. Bo could be anywhere, so we'll just start at the back. It's funny that of all the Bo Jacksons I have, is that the one? That's the one that sold. Because I got the nice 1990 Bo Jackson score. Some more Jordans. I picked up quite a few Jordans. Rodman, that's a cool Rodman. I don't know why am I selling that Rodman. Here we go. My AI is still working, folks. My AI is still churn, baby, churn. Oh, knows. Oh, there we did something. And this is that's a good example over there. What you're seeing is what's called a differentiation. The red negative sign is what's being removed, and then the green plus sign is what's being added into a file. And then you actually have also then the file name reference in there. So there we go. Valid JSON 55 concepts. Okay, so that's a pretty good place to start from. 55 concepts. 55 concepts talked about over 5 hours. Okay, sweet. Okay, but now I can't find this though. Because I'm doing two things at once and I'm not being very efficient. There's writing more lines. It's updating our design log. Sweet. The design thinking strand is light. Yes, I knew that, right?
Step 2 is done and logged. Here's where we landed. Concept inventory JSON, 55 concepts distilled from both transcripts, each with the schema you approved, key plus ID, strand, phase, summary, key points, stories, tools, lightly cleaned quotes, transcript source line, and related concept links. Please update the May 29th session for your clarification. May 29th, 2026 001 05 29 202026 055. Strand split 29 foundational. AI 9 design thinking, 17 cross-cutting. Build systems, not outputs. Validated. Well-formed JSON, all keys unique. Every related concepts reference result.
That makes sense that we're light on the design thinking. That's fine. I have a material that can supplement that. Where is the inventory? Never mind. I see that. Complete or concept JSON inventory. This looks like it's one file. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I mean, if you probably can't see this, but there's the data structure. There's the key. There's the ID.
The design thinking strand with your own material is exactly the right move, since that's the part the transcript's undercover.
Cool.
How would you like to bring it in? A few practical questions.
Okay, so based on the course proposed outline and the key concepts, I'd like to see a map of that outline filled in with the key concepts. So the first step was coming up with the outline. Second step was completely destroying the outline by teaching like I teach. And then the third step is organizing that conversation and then turning that into the materials then that we can follow up with. So this is almost how I would take an experience and turn it into a course, if that makes sense. I mean, it should make sense. It's not that complicated. All right. Let's see. So my curriculum builder is moving and grooving over there. I've got my two cards that people want on eBay right here. I'm going to ship. Let me build the map. We're building the map over here. I am a visual person. And we also throw in, folks, if you buy from Get Good Dad on eBay, you also then get a, where'd they go? You also get a Get Good Dad sticker. Get Good Dad, getgooddad.com. That's how you get to my eBay store. Get Good Dad is a brand. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So there's now the map is in course outline map and step 3 is logged. Awesome.
Done. The map is in course outline map MD and step 3 is logged. Here's the shape of it. 4 modules, all 55 concepts placed, module, concepts, depth, 0, framing, it's not magic, 3, adequate, 1, foundational AI, how it works, ethics, privacy governance, AI as tool, 29, deep 2, design thinking process, the spine, 9, thin, 3, build systems, not outputs, the cross-cutting thesis, 17, deep, the design thinking phase breakdown, where your supplement should aim, faith, dedicated concepts, status, empathize, 2, warning sign needs research technique, interviews, empathy maps, personas, define. 1. Warning sign needs problem framing method, POV, how might we? Ideate. 1. Warning sign needs ideation methods, divergent convergent, brainstorm rules, prototype. 4. Check mark well.
I'm really glad that was well covered. That was the point, like trying to show people what we could do. So that was good.
Warning sign needs real user testing, recruiting, observing, capturing feedback, the pattern that jumps out. The recordings teach the design thinking purpose.
That's perfect though.
Why each
Why?
phase matters through your AI demos, but rarely the method.
That's
How to run
okay.
the
That's what we're
phase.
gonna do now.
So empathize, define, and ideate each hang on a single concept. Those 3, plus real user testing, are the precise gaps your supplemental material can fill. When you're ready, drop the supplement.
We are going to ignore the supplemental material for right now. We'll build that out later. Here's the course design map. I'll open this up in what's called a markdown. So this is another tool that I would start to get used to, folks, if you're out there. This is called VS Code, Visual Studio Code. This is a free tool, desktop application.
Logged. Where we stand. Design log MD.
This is what MD is, a markdown code framework for how text would look. This is it in plain text. By plain text, we just mean no bolding, none of that. These symbols actually have some semantic meaning for headings and bolding and other things. So this is that same file, just with what's called rendered. The code here is rendered visually here with each of those little bits of code, double asterisks, hashtag pound sign, other symbols that semantically say what text is, and then we style visually what it looks like based on what it is. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This looks pretty good. How it works. It's not magic. It's code. 1A, 1B, ethics and responsible use. I like that. C, yeah, this is really good. We're gonna start with this. Let's build module 0 because I think I'm happy with this overall to get started with. Remember, we're not going to even worry about things until we get to them, which is where we get to the design thinking part. Let's do this whole AI first part. All right, so we're going to make that thing just completely go away. And now, I think you're right. Let's set this up as GitHub, but I need to talk to the people through it as I'm recording this presentation. So just let's do this very, very slowly so people can see what's going on. Now it's my TA. All right. So if you don't know what GitHub is, now's the time for us to maybe take a look. Let's put it over there. Not that. Didn't we have something in the middle here? Let's go. I'll just do it again. Oh yeah, we deleted it though. GitHub. There we go. So GitHub here, again, I do work for a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of things. We'll just go to Vanderpool Teacher. That's me. It's my account. I have a whole bunch of other accounts I play with. Vanderpool Teacher, Drone Games. That's a game I was working on. Repositories. Here we go. So repositories are just folders. So for the most part, right? Let's go ahead.
Git just told us. Let me translate each part for you.
Let me go ahead here and just look at the AWID classes folder. That would make the most sense. This is what we're in right now. If you see this here, there is a folder, docs, assets, superpowers, yada, 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 as AWID classes. I wonder, is this already on my computer? Is this the one we were looking at over here? Oh, duh, it is. Very cool. So if you'll notice, and on my Macintosh, you should be able to see when I did I believe it's Command Shift period will toggle on and off the hiding of files. Yeah, so now you see the files that come in and out. Those are the periods in front of them. the period is an indicator that should be a hidden file. You really shouldn't mess with that stuff. That's why they hide it, so you don't accidentally dork around with it. But here you can see this folder is a Git, has a folder called Git on it. This folder has files arranged and organized here to actually track this folder, this directory, folder and directory being synonyms. This folder that you have has the Git software installed on it, and that Git software really more than anything else allows you to track the changes over time of a folder, creating versions of files, and allowing people to work together on things a little bit more better. If you've ever been in a work environment where you've had to, and I may be dating myself here, but where you've had to ask somebody else to close a file for you to be able to go in and open it and work on it, cloud storage solves that. Part of what we're doing here with Git and GitHub is using cloud storage as part of our workflow. All right, so now I'm going to come over here, and what will I do? What will I do? Just show. So this assets folder here should hopefully have the same thing as this assets folder right here. What you will notice is if we go back and then you navigate just the same. So GitHub here, github.com is a remote version of the code on our computer right now. So you'll hear local and remote. Local is where we're at. GitHub.com is a version of this in the cloud. But what you'll notice is we don't have this docs. Well, we do have the docs, but we don't have this AWID creative problem solving folder in here. So there's a disconnect between what we have on our computer and what we have up here in what's called the remote location. So let's take a look. Perfect use case for this GitHub, exactly the kind of thing that's cleaner when we narrate it live. That's what we're going to do. Move one step at a time. So you'll see this here. This folder is already a Git repository. So we're going to take that out of the equation of how to make this a Git repo. When you don't have to worry about that yet. It's fairly simple and very well documented. It really is. When I'll do a lesson just specifically on basic functions of the terminal for using CLI, but I want you to see what you can do with the CLI to inspire you to, or not to inspire you, but to help you determine if you even want to use the CLI. It's not for everybody, but the closer you get to using the command line interface, aka CLI, the terminal, bash window, whatever the freak delete you want to use to talk directly to the computer, there'll be a class, or you can find that stuff. There's plenty of tools out there for that. So here's what Git just told us. We're on the branch feature one overview slideshow. Ooh, that's messy. Think of a branch as a parallel workspace. That's fine. GitHub is connected. That's cool. What's changed? I see 3 things in 2 categories. We have untracked changes, the entire folder that we just put together, the AWID creative problem solving. There's some modified things. And here's the plan. So make a fresh branch for today's work. Perfect. We'll talk about branches later. New work, new lane, clean, easy to explain. Stage our only new folder. That's fine. When we talk about staging, that just means getting it ready to be tracked. Committing, that's when we say this is what we want to, we're good with what this is. We know what this is. We're going to label it at this moment in time, what our files and folders, what our file system looks like, file code base looks like. And then we're going to push it up to GitHub, send what we have as our snapshot of our version up into the cloud. So first things first, let's look at this visually here. If I'm over at github.com, this is in the cloud, this is remote, and look at branches, you will see that there are 2 branches. There's the main branch, and then there is this branch called feature 1 overview slideshow. Main is our main primary original source of truth on what we have. It's our base. Yeah. When we want to change files, we could change files directly on our base. Open up a Word doc, type, change it, save it. There you go. You've made changes to your base, your source, right? Source is a weird term here, but bear with me. Base. when you open up a Word doc and make suggestions, now this metaphor falls apart rather quickly, but you make suggestions and it's just like something that you see a proposed change, and then you have to, somebody else have to maybe go in and approve it or whatever else, but it's like a strike through or an addition on, it's in a different color and underlined or whatever gross thing that Word wants to do for working with text. It's still the same file in that instance, so this is where it falls apart, but similar concept. When we create a branch, a new branch is a version of that main code that we pull off to the side, and then we make some changes over here. So let's say this thing works. This thing works like we want it to. We definitely want to go, don't make any changes here. This thing works. Don't mess with stuff that works. But we want to add a feature, or maybe there's something that needs a little bit of tweaking. We're going to pull a copy of it off to the side, make some changes, do some things, make sure it works over here. And then once we make sure it works over here, we're going to go ahead and say, oh, boop, let's go back over to the, take you and copy you back so that main, all those changes get pulled over to main. And now everything is beautiful. Everything is documented, but we're able to work and make sure something works without screwing up the original source, the OG, as they call it. So in this case here, we had this overview slideshow work that was being done. We have this new work that's going to be done. Let's go ahead, and it's going to make a fresh branch. We'll see that happening here. And then we're going to go ahead and do everything else. So I'll hit go, just because that's the word I like to use. This the quickest way to make it move. All right. So here, this is where you'll start to read and see code CD, change directory. So it's going to go from this user, me as the user.
Now in the new lane, feature course concept inventory. And notice our work followed us in untouched. Switching branches doesn't lose anything. Quick read of that shorthand, Git status short is the compact view. Untracked, Git isn't watching it yet. That's our AWID creative problem solving folder. Modified, the two older unrelated files we're going to leave alone. Step 3, next, will be the deliberate part. We stage only our folder, so those two unrelated changes stay out of our commit. Say next when you're ready.
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's go ahead and ignore what, well, not ignore what was just said there, but this is now we are back to looking at the tool called VS Code. VS Code here is another version of Finder or Finder or Explorer, where you're able to look at the files on your computer and interact with them. In this case, the interaction is editing those files. So if I click on a file like this 404 file, this about file, here's code, predominantly HTML. That is the visual of what you would see on a page. If I were to go and look at what that would look like in a browser, that's what that looks like, okay, for the most part. All right. One of the best ways for us to see visually on our computer what branch we're on is within this tool here, VS Code, because down at the bottom, this shows us the branch that we're actually on. We can see all of the branches. So my VS Code is connected to my GitHub. There's a lot of stuff, again, that I'm jumping over because I don't want to get lost in the weeds of just doing something that's already long enough, right? But this is, it's not as easy to see over here in the visual of your traditional way that you're looking at files and folders, that you're on a different branch. But right now we are on the feature branch course concept inventory. Now this does not exist up in the cloud yet, but it will. So git switch C, there's a whole bunch of commands for typing, but what's nice is we don't actually need to know all those commands at this point because the AI does. We just need to know that those commands exist and what the workflow is for this so that we can make it build what we're building in a software development lifecycle style, which is at the end of the day what we're actually building is software. You'll see. So make a fresh branch for today's work. That's good. Now we're in the new lane. Quick read of the shorthand. Yes. Next three, we stage only our folder. So those two unrelated changes to our commits. Yes, we're ready. So this is what we're going to do. The folder that we just created, the AWID, we have changes within that folder. There's also some other changes that were on that other branch called one feature overview, feature one overview slideshow. If we come on here and look at this, this was 2 weeks ago when I worked on this. 13 commits ahead of main. This is going to cause us a problem later. But you'll see here we had some changes to files and quite a few. What was this? Toggle F key. Graceful fallback when JSON is available. That was a slideshow presentation, right? Obviously the overview slideshow that we built. So what I might do, no, we'll just keep going. So, okay, go. Oops, not spotlight search here. Go. Boom, 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 boom. That will go. Now what's going on with our other bad mamma jamma? We'll keep that one moving. So now what's going to happen is I will go back over to VS Code over here. We're going to stay in this folder. That's sweet. And you'll see here this number 7 on the left sidebar within our source control. Our source code, Git is controlling now our source code. Git as source control software. We're using that to track the changes. The changes here will be visible within the VS Code, Visual Studio Code. This is something that allows us to actually see the files that are being changed. What's that one? The graph.
Before I narrate this and we move to committing,
Sweet.
let me pause on one thing, because this is the moment to catch it. Staging worked exactly as intended. Our 5 files are in the box, green, and the 2 unrelated files are correctly left out. But notice what got staged. The box includes the 2 raw transcripts. Let me check whether this GitHub repo is public, because that changes things.
So it is public. Public and private repositories, exactly what you would think. A public repository is visible to everybody. A private repository is not. What's pretty cool about a public repository, though, is that we can put some files into what's called, like, you give them a status where the system will ignore them and not publish them out remotely to github.com. But what we're doing right now, there's no secrets. We can at least make it all public, right? Oh, does include, hold on, which includes real first names. Oh, snap. Did I put people's real first names in this? Ooh, did I have an ethical violation from that transcript? That's a good question. Jason, I'm sorry. I have to send you an apology. I'm sure as much as Jason works, knows who Jason Hines is. Look at how much, just AI your own name and see what it knows about you already. Oh, look at that. Candid opinions, jokes, and personal details. Someone's dietary, ADA, disability, offhand politics remarks, complaints about employers. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. Look at what we just did. I got to write a letter now. Holy smokes. This is fascinating. This is so fascinating. We'll have to make this video private and only share it with them. Yeah. That's fascinating. Did not even really think about that, right? Because you're having a conversation within the class. Is that information public, private, guarded, everything else? They knew I was recording. I was wearing a visible recorder, but I'm sure most of those statements are actually mine, right? Oh, that's a great freaking come up out of this. So yes, this is what we need to do. We'll commit the 3 derived apps. There's only teaching demos. Yep, keep those local. Yes, 100%. We will do that. Keep the transcripts local. Great catch. Great catch. The repo will be public We'll do a git ignore on any of the recordings folders. We need to define in the process that we redact transcripts. Because then we could potentially upload them, but I don't know if there's any value. There's no value for those transcripts ever really being seen other than for preservation. And if we put, yeah, we're fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. Keep the transcripts local. Great catch. Yeah, that was a phenomenal catch, right? Because you don't think about those things. Now people gave up those details in public, so and we don't really have a commitment, a liability there. But I believe we have an ethical liability there, for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yep, if they're published redacted. Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. So now what we should see over here on our local computer, these stage changes is the JSON file, the course outline, the design log. You see that the transcript files just vanished. They're still in this folder. They're still in this folder, but because we're no longer tracking them, they won't be committed. So the program is doing its job, right? These files still exist here in the folder. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, that was big. I mean, it's wild, right? Like as me, hey, I'm talking about this stuff, talking about AI, and that thing we talked about yesterday. We talked about ethics first.
Add the GDURA and the freshly updated log into the box, then show the final state before we commit.
All right, now let's go. So you'll see what happens over here on the computer here within this. See the commit all those files vanished. So what happened was that the AI wrote some commands.
Step 4, creating the commit.
Right? So it created this commit. This commit lives here now. Let's go back and take a look at. Let's do it this way. This might actually work, right? This bad boy right there. This bad boy right here. And this bad boy right here. So this is boom, 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 boom. All this wonderful stuff we can kind of see. We'll look at, here's the file. We're on main here. We only have feature branch 1 or 1. Over here, we do have feature branch 2, which is the course concept inventory. It's been committed over here. And now what we need to do is we need to make it go from here to here. So we're going to say go. It's going to run this command git push. It's going to push our commits, our files from our computer locally up remotely. And boom, you see what happened here. Feature course concept inventory had recent pushes 2 seconds ago. Beautiful thing. We're going to do something that's called a pull request. And we're going to do this. We'll do this manually as long as it lets us. So it's on GitHub on a new branch. Let me do one final reassurance check for your audience. The transcripts did not go up. If we click, well, we'll see here in a second. What we did.
Only the 3 derived artifacts are on GitHub Git ls files. grep transcript returns nothing. So the raw transcripts never left your machine. The privacy catch held all the way through. Let me close out the.
And we'll verify this right now. So the files on our computer that were committed got pushed up to github.com in the cloud. Now what we want to do is we want to compare this branch feature course concept inventory to our main branch, and we're going to make a pull request because we want somebody to pull that code, that branch back into main. So here, yeah, well, there we go. There's a title for this pull request. I just AI generated that. Don't worry about that yet. But part of that documentation and doing things and then adding description, all that stuff will be super important as we move forward. But we're gonna let AI handle the vast majority of it because it's a perfect example of what AI should do for us. So the files changed. There are the CSS files, and what we're comparing here is feature course inventory to what exists on the main. So there's a CSS file, there's some JavaScript, there's the JSON file we created. Here's the course outline map as a markdown file. There is the design log, which shows the project at a glance, decisions. Here's our sources. Here's our session logs, kickoff, step 1, step 2, step 3 was creating the outline. There we go, decisions. Step 4, put the work on GitHub. The privacy catch is exactly what we're talking about, right? These are the files that were created. Here is the slideshow. This must have been on. Yeah, can't remember what that was for. Or no, I do. That's the freaking presentation thing. Anyway, long story short, we like this. Let's go back to conversation. Now we want these files to be on our main branch. We're just going to merge. So the pull request is, I want you to pull this in. The merge is actually making that happen. When we confirm the merge here, purple merged up in the corner. We go back to code. We can look, here's the main branch. This has our new folder in it that we just pulled in with our design log and everything else. So now our remote matches our local. We can even go back to this branch if we really wanted to, and we could do some things with it. This branch is one commit behind main. That's fascinating. We'll talk about commits a little bit more as we commit more things. And then you'll see over here, our branch, this feature 1 overview slideshow is over here as well. So let's do this. I want to ask it a question real fast because we're in a sidestep here. Can you tell me what's going on with branch 1, please? We'll take this as an opportunity to just kind of recap what we just did. We have files on our computer, and that's what we just loaded, these text files. We started using AI to define a process that defined how we were going to sort our data, organize our data. We came up with an outline of the transcripts. Those were generated from the transcripts. And we also then have the design log here, which talks through the design process. Pretty fascinating. We took these local files, some generated through the use of AI, some from recorders and other things. Primarily, it's mostly AI, right? I didn't touch any of those files other than opening them. We used VS Code here, which is a code editor, to track what was happening locally on our computer with regard to like the file size and the movements of things, simply because when you look at the file folder structure over here in Finder and Explorer, you don't really see any of that. It's all hidden away because you don't really need to care about it. But here we can see the files that we committed. We can see a whole bunch of fun things. We can also see what branch we're on, and we can do some things here. Let's just go to main here. Your local changes would be overwritten by checkout. What's going on there? Why is that happening? What changes? Nothing changed. Changes. How did those change? Why did I commit those? That should be on our other branch. Let's go ahead and try not to be too confusing here, folks. No. Go away. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole right now. So the overview slideshow, that's part of what we were just looking at. That's why I didn't want to focus on that.
And I want want to give you an accurate answer rather than trust the labels, let me nail down 2 more facts.
It's broken. So the slideshow never landed on main. So let's just do this. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and merge branch 1 into main. Take a look ahead. Take a look behind. Oh my goodness, Lions are going to lose. What is my... How do I do this? I don't understand. Link devices, chats. What do you need? Let me see here.
Here's a map of 11150 Whitetail Way, White House, Ohio, 43571.
Sweet. Thank you. So how do I change my username on this stupid thing? Account. Why can I not? There you go. See what happens. I think somebody's trying to scam me. I love playing with the scammers. It's fun. All right, so there we go. Okay, on it. This is a bigger operation, bringing the slideshow onto the default branch. Default branch is your main branch. So I'll go in clear stages and narrate. This is really important. And I think why when you start to build these tools, you have to have the underlying understanding of what's happening. You have to. Because this is scary, what's going on, if you don't know how to solve the problem or what's happening under the hood. So basically, we had 2 branches that were in conflict with one each other with regard to...
Merged
That's...
cleanly, no conflicts. The slideshow...
It's overcomplicating it. We had best way to say this. We had previous work over on another side branch that was behind where we put, so we had to make sure everything got put together, and that's, I think, what happened. Okay, let's go ahead and go, and they're going to publish it, so let's go. We should be able to say, and then I'm going to say, let's get everything on main, and then we're going to go ahead and delete those 2 branches, because the work should no longer be on those branches. Well, that branch is now 2 commits behind main. Everybody. Uh-oh, there's some red. Airfield to push some references. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Git just protected us, and this is a great moment for your recording. The push was rejected because GitHub's main, so what's on GitHub remotely, now has commits that we don't have locally. Someone or something, us, pushed to it since we started. Git refuses to overwrite that work. The fix is to bring those remote changes in first, then push. Okay, sweet. Let me look before I touch anything. It's going to fetch, go grab what's up remote, bring it down and look at it to help us get back into alignment here. This is something that working with GitHub and version control and this branching, it can be very, this is a place where it can be very frustrating, even for people who know what they're doing. So trying not to go down the rabbit hole of what's happening here, because the best way to explain it is we've given a version of our stuff for somebody to work on. We continued working on it. They were working on it. Now there is this, what's the latest and greatest? Well, back in the day, we would have had to do some comparing and looking at all these other things. This tool here, or manually, we would have done that, not necessarily back in the day, but just even yesterday, today, would have done that manually. Now we're leveraging the computer and this Git version control to do that. It can see and compare and identify where conflicts exist from the work that was being done by me or you or somebody else, and help us resolve those. And this is sometimes what will happen. You notice how I did that pull request and other things, and let AI do some of the work and me do some of the work. I found with using GitHub and keeping track of your application, that using GitHub you either have to use one or the other, right? You have to be the ones doing it all the time, or you just let the computer do it. And if the computer does it, the computer knows where it's at, and we can avoid some of these issues, although the computer will still have issues, which is why, again, going back to, you have to have a funnel understanding of Git and GitHub, I think needs to be taught in school, not even just for software development, but for this concept of version control and communicating and working with others. Keep on down the road. So again, I'm reading this. Done, and it worked out cleanly. Local and GitHub main are now perfectly in sync, and main contains the slideshow and concept files. I'm gonna do the final safety confirmation. There we go.
Done, and it worked out cleanly. Local and GitHub main are now perfectly in sync, 0, and main contains the slideshow and the concept files.
Okay. So now clean up the feature branches, please. What does that mean? Cleaning up the feature branches means we built on these branches. These branches we don't need anymore. Let's go ahead and delete the branches. We should see here, if we read this in a hot second. Let's go back over to main, which is our default branch. There we go. We see 3 branches here. You'll see what happens is we have all of those things that got merged for us. We can track those via what's called those pull requests. We have 2. The combined slideshow, and then the slideshow with course navigation. Those were all pulled over here. Both of them 10 minutes ago. This only had 3 of its tasks done. That's okay. We can always look back at that later, because what's happened is those commits and everything else have told the story of how things have changed over time. You saw the checkboxes there that weren't checked. I believe that they actually were. That work was done, so we can leave it for now. All right, but there was never delete a branch whose work isn't safely on main first. So it's going to verify that both are fully merged. Is in main safe to delete? Almost. The course concept inventory has 1 commit not in main. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Log edit. I committed locally. Oh, so it wrote to the log file, but never pushed it. So it's going to do that. It's created on the feature course concept. Its GitHub copy is fully merged. So that side is safe to remove. The only snag is the local branch 1 orphan commit. Let me delete the remote copy now, and then I'll call a local one. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And now if we come over here, we should hit refresh, and we'll see that there's only 1 branch. Those other 2 branches are removed. There we go. And that just keeps it clean, because what changed is on these commits. So why we don't need to keep those empty branches. What happened here is here. If we ever need to see the story.
Local and GitHub. Now feature course concept inventory. Its GitHub copy is fully merged, PR number 3. So that side is safe to remove. The only snag is the local branch's 1 orphan commit. Let me delete the remote copy now. Save. Then
Yep, go. We'll say finish. Okay, so a lot of freaking work, folks, right? A lot of freaking work, but it's gonna be worth it, I swear. because now we have this project and this information tracked inside of GitHub. And where this is, I'm going to say nice, is so that like people can actually see what we're doing and start to look at these things and not necessarily be scared.
Finishing cleanup, force deleting the local branch.
Again, scared of this. So Claude, you're doing fine, and no, you cannot use my stuff. Okay, so now says we're at a good stopping point. The one option Lucy still seeing is the design log in main. Don't yet narrate this Git
Hours warning
session.
is a spurious template. Placeholder artifact hours decimal parses as a YAM.
All right, hold on. Hours warning is a spurious template placeholder. Lesson 1 produced. So open lesson 1. One of the things I'm doing over on the other project here is looking at things along the way. Open it up.
Bar set, lesson 1. All 7
Open the
artifacts
containing
path
folder.
check JS. The
Yes,
first
we
lesson
know.
is fully produced and validated,
Yes,
which
we
blocks the
know.
production recipe for the other 11. 2 more template versus checker drift surfaced. I'll add them to number 784. The live completeness JS requires the instructor guide timing table to use a segment header plus NN-min total, not the canonical templates activity time 1.5h. Use segment minutes to pass. Activity instructor section order is enforced as pre-activity setup facilitation steps, common pitfalls, what to circulate for expected answers, debrief prompts. Lesson 1 produced in courses ITIL specialist /.
Now I've asked it to open the containing folder over there. And here, this is important. So since we're building our process along the way, I said, create a lesson on what we did with GitHub, basic Git and GitHub for understanding. We'll use this to develop the template structure for lessons. GitHub and Git are so foundational to this that we need to actually come in and build this into the course. What I just did was a little wandering and staggering, kind of like the course itself. But I think seeing it and then learning it works better. I don't know. Yeah, we're getting a 2-for-1 here. Of course you love it.
All cleaned up. Final state. Local branches. Just main GitHub branches. Just origin main status. Main, origin main with nothing ahead or behind. Clean working tree. Perfectly in sync. Cleanup recap for your recording. Feature /1 overview Slideshow. Deleted local plus. Open the lesson 1 folder in Finder. Courses ITIL specialist.
Okay, this looks good for an outline. What I would like you to do is to make sure that when you introduce technology and concepts, you start with what it is, what it does, and how it fits into the ecosystem. As an example, Git is software that does version control that fits into the software development lifecycle, allowing for us to track the changes of a code base and more. So I like the outline. That's cool. We're going to generate our first lesson from this outline, and now it's going to go ahead and also start to define some rules. We'll see what it kind of comes back as. You'll notice as we do this, our structure is okay. When we create new things, part of that will also be then where they live. Sometimes they may just get thrown into the main folder and we'll have to do some work with it. Excuse me, I may have to have a tea. Got a lot of work left to do. All right, so now hold on. Let me look at this thing over here. Content. Yes. Come over here. That looks good. Instructor guide. That looks good. Activities. Yeah, go for it. So now over here, it's going to create this lesson. I'm going to go upstairs and make a tea. We will be right back after these messages. I think we're still streaming. Are we still streaming? Says we're still sharing. There we go. There we go. This is pretty good. So let me go ahead and do this. All right, let's advertise. Probably can't hear it. Let me do this. Stop sharing and then reshare. Share screen. Entire screen.
The file on main was reset to its committed version, so my context is stale. Let me read it before editing.
That's what I'm talking about. Heating pad, the heating pad. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, let's go. What's up, folks? All right, I'm back. And that is Tractus Mars, the award-winning. Well, no, this one didn't win any awards yet, but Tractus Martis will be given away, giving that game away to schools for talking about Mars. Pretty cool game. You start the mission, begin your loadout, whatever you want to take with you. And then your job is to traverse Mars to get from Jezero Crater to the Olympus base, along with your crew, making sure everybody survives, traveling, running into things, running science surveys, prospecting for water and ice, finding water, continuing to traverse. Comms blackout. Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and wait for the satellite pass. Yeah, we lost some more food and water because we had to kill a day, right? Here we go. Dawn systems check. Let's keep moving. Here we go. And here we go. Arrival at Arabia Terra. Let's just rest the crew. Along the way, we are trying to collect science points by doing investigations, things like that. Here we go. The anomalous sense return banded sediment deposit, layered clays and sulfites exposed along a crater wall. Wet era chemistry preserved in the banding pattern. Let's go ahead and divert and check that thing out. So our crew will be out for 3 days, 3 souls. We want our biologist specialist, Raya, to go. That does impact. We're going to send our security guy out. And then let's also send our medic out. We'll dispatch. And then our main crew has arrived at our next stop, and we'll regroup with the other crew here. Let's go ahead and run a science survey. And now, here we go. Our science survey, we data logged. Opportunity confirmed liquid water at Meridiani in 2004. So the game also includes facts about Mars. Hey, could you shut that door, please? Thank you. Here we go. Our away team, it's working. Here we go. Away team is still out on day 3. Away team is reunited. We got 55 science points, and we're going to resume our trek. We're actually making good time here. Everything looks good. Our food is a little bit down, but we're actually in an okay spot. Everybody's health looks pretty good. Continue on the next day. Keep going. We're just traveling, consuming resources. There's another sensor return, a potential biosignature. Let's go ahead and divert that because we could get 70 points. Away team, we will send our specialist again. Is this the same one that we had last time? And then we arrive here. Let's go ahead and do another science check. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Ancient lake bed. Let's go ahead and run the full assay grid here. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Let's see what this scam is. Hello, Mr. Michael. Hello. You can almost always tell by the profile picture. This is somebody that's recruiting me for a company, but I'm pretty sure by the profile picture they're going to try to recruit me for something else. I apologize if you can hear me sip my tea, but whatever. Grid complete. Let's go ahead and do some deep cores. Continue on our next days. Our away team is going to do a full vacuum. So the decisions that we make for our away team is going to be going through and doing gaining more science points. We hope we had 95 science points. This is a good run that we're on, folks, right now. Going to resume our trek. Food is getting low, and we're about halfway there. We should probably switch over to meager rations, which means we're going to wait out and slow down a little bit. Let's go ahead and do an extended extraction, get some more water. Ooh, got a lot of water. Sam took some damage there. Not sure exactly what happened to Sam, but our food is under 39%. You can see we've got a little bit of way to go here. Keep going. You can read all of those. The game will, if you just try to skip through, will punish you by making bad things happen the faster you try to go. Forcing you to slow down. Let's just go ahead and rest the crew because our crew is feeling a little hurty there, for lack of a better way to say it. We're about right there on food. Let's see what will happen. Crevasse field, a network of meter-wide crevices open across your route. Some are deep enough to swallow a rover. Uh-oh. Let's do a biologist check. Ooh, more science points. This is a good run. This is a good run. Drill bit seized. Let's go ahead and bypass the drill. We're that far across. It's fine. I'm going to make it. Let's go ahead and run a science survey here. We can do that. Tharsis Plateau rose roughly 10 kilometers. Sweet, sweet, sweet. 25%. Medical emergency. Uh-oh. Acute radiation sickness. Alex, the engineer, is in trouble. Nausea, skin arrhythmia, platelet count dropping, Dosimer log to spike. What can we do? We can consult the medic. Query Earth, dose from medkit and hope. Let's consult the medic here. Treatment window with a diagnosis in hand. Choose the treatment plan for Alex. Surgery in the rover. Stabilize and push to landmark. Introduce coma. Let's just go ahead and stabilize and push to landmark. We should be getting there. We're going to make this. This is going to be a good run. Alex is in trouble. But we made it. A B. Oh, that felt like a great mission. How do we only get a B? 12 more science points, folks. Oh, my goodness. 12 more science points. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's take a picture here of this. Take a picture here of this. We're going to post that. That's a fun game. It's got good music too. But back to work, back to life, back to reality. Dun, 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 dun. That's fascinating. All right, all right. If you loved Oregon Trail, track Tuss. Boom, boom, boom. That was fun. All right, so now, like we said, back to work. Okay, so lesson, getting GitHub Basics, a complete lesson built and approved. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here. And here's our lesson. I'll double click on this bad mamma jamma. And now this shows up in the Markdown file. So what you're seeing here is I'm using AI to create content, right? I'm using AI to take existing content and turn it into something to refine it. Sure, fine. So here's this lesson, related concepts. It was discussed in our talk, so that's phenomenal. Every time we introduce a new piece of technology, we use the same three-part pattern: what it is, what it does, how it fits into the ecosystem. Here's the overview. You just watched a folder full of work. Well, that didn't really happen because, I mean, it could be coupled with this, I guess, but that's a little weird. This lesson explains what they are and walks through. Lesson objectives: explain in plain language what Git and GitHub are and how they differ. Describe 4 everyday moves: stage, commit, push, and branch. Save a snapshot of your work with a clear message. Send that work to GitHub and recognize when it goes live. Spot 2 common beginner traps: a rejected push and deleting unmerged work. And respond calmly instead of forcing things. Apply 1 privacy habit: never publish what shouldn't be public. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Key vocabulary: Git, GitHub. Everyday terms: repository, commit, branch, main, staging, remote, origin, push, pull, fetch, merge, pull request, git, ignore. Holy smokes. Here's the actual lesson. A save history you can trust. Example, what we did. So we did not play in the terminal. And I think this is okay for this. I mean, it's going to have to be okay because we're going to just have to keep moving or else we'll be here all day nitpicking. And that's what's nice, though. We can set this up. This is all about using Git in the terminal, which is fine. Key takeaways. This is fine because that's how we would teach Git in anyway. We'd have to do it in the terminal. Cool. So establish this as a pattern. Also establish at the front matter of lessons that we say that once they're created, they cannot be changed without a GitHub issue. This is fascinating. So fascinating. So fascinating. So I'm going to have our good friend AI here do an investigation. So what is lyrics.ai? That'll be fun. That's working. That's still working. Little task switching here. Task flopping. Thank you. Thank you.
Now let me record the new decision and the template in the log.
Sweet. Yeah, publish. Let's go ahead and work on a branch specific to the content creation process and put this on it and keep going. All right. Keep on moving and grooving. Sorry, folks, I was reading a message there. That's okay.
Exactly right. The lesson, the template, and the log update recordings stayed out. Now commit and push the branch. Pushing a feature branch is safe. It doesn't deploy.
There we go. That's what it is instead. All right, keep going, friend.
Both produced and self-verified pass. Let me run a consolidated check.js across all 3 Module 1 lessons to confirm the whole module is clean, trust, but verify, then pause at the Module 1 gate.
Open folder. Let me view what's in that folder. Branch, this is exactly the step you wanted. Dedicated lane, feature branch. So let's look at module 0. Let's do module 0, right? Remember what module 0 was, folks? Do you remember what module 0 was? Boom, shalak, clock, boom. Am I just typing this thing wrong? I am typing it wrong. There we go. Hmm. So this is the company that's trying to scam me. Or the people, the fake company. Hmm. It's funny, right? This is another LinkedIn scam that's out there. Interesting. Yeah, I'll talk to you. That'll be fun. That'll be a fun conversation. So that was how I used Claude to check that thing out. Okay, so now here we go. Here we go. Keep on moving and grooving. Yes, yes, we like these things. Now bring the log current. All right, in the content branch for 0.
Module 1, complete review gate checkmark. All 3 lessons of Module 1. Monitoring, observability, and event management are produced, and
so
every
beautiful.
artifact passes. Check
Yeah, let's
JS
go.
lesson.
Go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. I'm going to figure out where the freaking...
Now let me commit Module 0 to the content branch and push.
So module 0 is done. Lesson 02, it's not magic how AI works. This will be fun. Let's go check this thing out. Let's actually read this thing. So remember, we can go over here, our lessons. It's not magic how it works. And then we can look right here. Again, we're in VS Code. Here's the lesson. Once created, lesson is locked. Related concepts. So lesson 2, module 0. The naming here is weird, but whatever. Before we touch a single AI tool, we have to knock down one idea, that AI is magic. It isn't. This module gives you a simple, honest picture of what's really happening, not the deep math, just enough to use these tools wisely and to judge when to trust them. This is not a math class, a computer science class, or a data science class. You will not need any of that. The whole goal is a working mental model in plain English. Here's the payoff. The moment that you see AI is just code running on huge amounts of data. Very quickly, it stops from being intimidating and starts being a tool, something you can pick up, point out a problem, and judge honestly. That shift is the foundation for everything else in this course: ethics, choosing tools, and the design thinking process. So explain in plain words why AI isn't magic. It's code generated from huge amounts of data and very fast computation. Describe the difference between deterministic and non-deterministic output and say which one AI is. Predict that the same prompt can produce different answers and set your expectations accordingly. Explain why you don't need the internal math to use AI well and why a simple mental model still matters for trust and ethics. I don't understand number 3 here, so let's go ahead and say the learning objectives here feel I'd like 2. I don't really, and I get the concept of 1, but I don't really think that 3 and 4 are clear Bloom's aligned learning outcomes. So if you don't know what Bloom's is, Bloom's taxonomy is something that I would argue anyone doing any amount of teaching should probably at least understand. The concept of types of knowledge. You have your definitional knowledge. I know the definitions. I know the concepts. You have your and then all the way on the other end, your critical thinking skills, justification of why something happened, your ability to apply. It's a little bit lower level, but just a way of organizing how we learn, from being able to say, oh, these are the handlebars. You have to know the terms to be able to grab the handlebars, to being able to just ride normally in order to be able to ride professionally. There you go. There's the metaphor. So you're right. Let me be specific about why rather than just agreeing. So explain why AI isn't magic.
Module 0 is done, committed 097F3B4, and push to feature content creation. Lessons/0 to It's Not Magic How AI Works MD covers the framing module, built from the template, full section set, with what does fits applied to AI, LLM, and code.
I think that's good. Okay, make that update, please. Now this should change here, I believe. Now you're not going to see like any tracks of those changes because we haven't taken a snapshot. We're in between snapshots right now. I think. Yep, there you go. Boom. Now, what branch are we on? Because if we look here, what branch are we on? I think it's just showing that we're on main, right? And that shouldn't be. The main in Spain is mainly on the plane. We're on feature. Oh, why can't I not see that? Is that not big enough? It gets hidden then? What in the deuce nugget? What's going on here? Is it because we're not?
We're on feature content creation.
Oh, because
Let
we
me
didn't have the
confirm
folder
that
open.
and
Hold
commit
on.
the objectives
Dagnabbit.
update in the same step.
VS Code, open folder. There we go. Now down here, feature content creation. Okay. We'd opened it up in a different folder. That's why. Through a different way. All right. So now let's do this. Let's go back and look at the lesson. Here and then here. We like the learning outcomes. That's fine. Key vocabulary, AI, LLM, code, term deterministic, non-deterministic data, compute, training data. The lesson, the old way computers were predictable. What actually changed? It's all code. Why it can still feel magical. The twist. Why this isn't a math class. A grounding reminder. Worked example. Hands-on activity. Common pitfalls. Discussion questions. Check for understanding. Those quiz questions. Key takeaways. instructor notes. Okay. So now we have this lesson document, and let's go ahead and let's take this lesson document and extrapolate it into its parts. The text of the lesson, the activity documents, a interactive HTML that will become a SCORM package, and instructor guide materials. So this lesson here, or what we're taking as a lesson, we're going to flesh out and break apart into these things into its pieces now, because we're cool with this, right? 30 35 minutes, that's fine, whatever. Prerequisites, okay. Little skeleton here, we're gonna put some pigs on the skeleton. I'm not sure that's how that phrase goes, but you get what I'm saying. So this is all also then how we're going to document what we're doing, right? We took our transcript, turned it into a data structure that we could then pull out and apply and connect a little bit easier. Then we created a lesson document. We created a template based on that, so we can get some consistency within what those documents look like. And now we have taken a lesson document that included all of the everything about the lesson, and now we're going to take that and break it out into its smaller parts for wider distribution. Great next move. This is exactly the curriculum pipeline idea. Yes, 100%.
We are on feature content creation, the dedicated content lane, not main, so nothing here is deployed or locked yet. And the objectives update is done, committed B224B62, and pushed to that branch. Summary of what changed. Module 0 objectives, rewritten to your standard. 1. Explain, understand. 2. Distinguish, classify, understand, analyze. 3. Demonstrate non-determinism by running the same prompt repeatedly. Apply, now tied to the hands-on activity. 4. Justify why a simple mental model is enough. Evaluate, drop the vague trust and ethics clause. Ethics stays as foreshadowing in the body template, now carries an explicit rule. 1. Measurable blooms, verb per objective, observable, no compound objectives, tagged with level. Decision 13 logged, so the standard applies to every future lesson. Branch recap, since it's easy to lose track across all this. Main, live public site, slideshow plus concept inventory. Untouched by today's lesson work. Feature content creation, where we are. Template plus lesson 01, Git. GitHub plus lesson 02 module 0, all committed and pushed. Next up whenever you want. Continue with another lesson, renumber files to match course order, or open a PR to publish the lessons to main.
So this is the structure that it wants to use. It'll be a folder. And there'll be lesson text, learner-facing materials, student handout, instructor guide, SCORM, which will include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the XML file, which is the manifest for how SCORM does its packaging and reporting. But we're going to use SCORM 1.2. We're going to make sure that the lesson text is more robust and use content from the class, metaphors, etc. Also start each lesson with a narrative. So one of the things that I've found in education, outside of when we talk about tech and concepts, probably everything, it's what it is, what it does, how it fits into the ecosystem is a nice framework and structure. The other thing that we want to do is want to include a narrative at the beginning to set the experience around which the learning will matter. not everyone has those experiences to make that that material stick to a situation they've been experienced in. So two ways we do that. One is with a metaphor. Another way you can make it real to something you've experienced, and or start with this narrative introduction, and use that for the wrap up, and use in wrap up to help give that context around how the learning can matter. This is so fun. What is this? Let me see. I'm gonna watch this. Hold on. This is a set.
anybody to do is people pretty upset. And I'll be honest, I'm upset. That's why I made the post. People pretty upset. Hey, everybody,
Ooh.
I wanted to come on here because earlier I put up a post and definitely ruffled a few feathers. Made
All valid. Manifest well formed. JS clean. All 5 resources return 200. The viewer and every part. All 3 Module 2 lessons self-verified pass. Consolidated check across Module 2.
I wonder how much of that I was muted. The 2 grep hits are false positives. The instructor notes below a docsection pointer, and class equals lesson and HTML attribute. No real physical class references remain. The narrative now reads as an illustrative scene, the metaphors, and the podcast story are kept. And the our class the room the instructor said, framing is gone. Quiz feedback is in and files still serve 200. Let me record the voice rule and commit. 1 2 1 2. Let's go ahead and publish the PR. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to publish a pull request. So we've got our code over here. We're on this feature content creation. We're going to come over here. I think everything was got both been committed. Let's go ahead and go back up to github.com, right? Where is this music coming from for this game? It's on my phone. Oh, here it is. There it was. And there's my repo. Okay, fabulous. Oh, that got large. That's what happened. That's why I lost that. Okay, here we go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So now we're on AWID. feature content creation, awesome blossom. All clean, working tree clean, branch pushed. My main hasn't drifted, so the PR is created. Still doing its thing. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. All right, we gotta keep my other thing moving. Are we almost done on this? Module 2. I have another system that's creating content that's working over on the other side of the house. That's what's going on there. So published and verified. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And that was cleaned up. And now here are my AWID. Here's my
Published and
lessons.
verified. Main is at the merge commit. All lesson files are live, and transcripts stayed local only. 1 bit of stale bookkeeping. The remote tracking ref for the deleted branch lingers locally. Let me prune it.
And now we can see the local server is still up and running. So we can come in here and see what this looks like. Here it is, instructor guide, launch interactive, same thing we had before. Okay, decent way to look at this. Decent way to look at this. Now let's go back and let's build out the template and specification for all of these documents that we just created so that everything going forward follows the same pattern. Let's also make sure we do this on an issue in a branch. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Do, 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 do. When you're in doubt, when you're in danger, look all around. Know I'll be there. I think that's how the song goes, but I can't remember it. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look, there we go. There's a nice little commercial.
Done, fully
Hockey
published and
noise.
tidy.
That's funny.
Published PR number 4 merged to main 46EA4B9. Live on GitHub pages. The deploy takes a minute to go live. On main now, the lesson template,
It's a little
lesson
curious.
01, Git. GitHub, module 0, master plus decomposed parts plus SCORM 1.2 interactive with quiz feedback, and the lesson viewer. Transcripts never left your machine, confirmed absent from the repo. Branches cleaned up. Feature content creation, deleted local plus remote, and pruned, only main remains. What this changed lesson 01.
All right, so everything looks good. Let's go ahead and move the template. It's fine. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. How. And then what we'll end up seeing here is that this view HTML, which we can come over here for our view HTML, this will end up moving and going somewhere and becoming, yeah, What's this index.html? Oh, this is the class page I created. Yeah, okay, I know what this is. So this is this. This is this page right here. And now we're actually going to have a class documentation off of here. Be a course materials folder that will take us to that when we get there eventually. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's getting late. It's getting late. Da-da-da-da. So there it's go. It's creating its templates. It's creating the index.html file. It's creating the manifest template for the SCORMs, templates for the instructor guides, creating a README. READMEs are files that go at the front of some things. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So it's the templates then for all of these things that will exist. Right now there's this template MD. This is in the cloud. And then if we come down here into our local, we can see what's being created. These 9 changes, the lesson MD file, instructor guide MD, lesson text MD. If we click on these, we can see these are all in our template folder. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Specification that ties it all together. The specification would reference those template files. And then anytime we create new content, we'll have it reference the specification, which references the templates, which helps to ensure that a lot of our content that we create is following pre-described patterns to make things more deterministic. Cool, 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 cool. And then if we look back over here at just the files, lessons, where was course outline map? That's what we want to look at here. So framing and now module 1. Which would be 3, 4 lessons. Module 2. Let's do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and when that's done, we're going to commit it and push it and merge it because that's the lesson system spec that'll be done. Then we'll do the next thing. So this idea of taking a task or a part or a feature of something you want to build and doing it
All
as an
present
issue,
and
its
valid.
own branch
Manifest well formed.
is super important. It's how we keep our work organized and split. Let's go ahead and merge this. So issue 5, which is this lesson system spec, we have pull request 6, which is, if we again hop back over here, right to our GitHub, come back over here, our pull requests, we probably see, I think I just actually closed it. This was the lesson system specification and per part templates. Here are the template files, and then also then the other files that were changed. And they're all green because they're all
Merged
added.
and synced. Let me confirm issue number 5 auto closed and the repo is clean.
Yep. So now we'll do this. Um, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's build module 1 on a new branch, please. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And then it looks like our friend over on the other side is also going. Cool, cool, cool. So much drama in the LBC. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Can't believe I'm looking at the drama. Just want to see the chats, not the freaking. There it is. Filling in the master lesson suite. We'll keep this moving. What I really want to be able to do is be able to share that out in the morning with the folks who attended and continue to keep building for them. That would be kind of cool, right?
Now filling in the master lesson.
What? What? Wow. What? Wow. 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 Oh my goodness. So ridiculous.
This is your show.
So ridiculous. The internet's so dumb. Built the master lesson first so we can check the scope and look at the parts. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So we can hop back over here to our good friend, lesson 3. Can you trust it? Hallucination. Well, let's actually look at it like y'all want to look at it, right? A lawyer needs to file a brief and he's short on time, so he asks an AI to write up a summary of past cases that support his argument. Out it comes polished, confident with real looking case names, citation, everything. It's beautiful. And he files it. Oh, the big dummy. Cases don't exist. The AI made them up. In module 0, make it a rule within all content that we never reference other content within it. This creates dependencies that we do not want to uphold and is not necessary. If we're needing to use prior knowledge, we just present the prior knowledge. Make sure this is updated in the specification and templates as needed. That's an important part right there because it will not always go back and update the templates. So right now we're building the documentation of how this thing works by building it and reviewing it. When you make a change, make sure it gets updated now within the specification and the documentation. Super, super important. So silly. I could work on the art app now too. This will be a cool demo. Again, two birds, one stone sometimes, right? Because now we're getting to this part where we're doing things that are taking a long time. Any of this, so setting things up and getting the sequence of how we're building stuff and what gets built, yada yada, is taking a while. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to work on the art app. Let's go ahead and a new folder at the terminal. I'll show you what the art app is first. That'll be it right here. Public. Boom, shalom clock, boom. Come over here. Now our good friend Claude. There we go. We're seeing what's changing over there. That's cool. Let's go ahead and do this and optimize all images for web distribution. Include lazy loading. Do on in issue on branch. Here we go. So this art app here, it's pretty cool. You can go ahead and look at murals, galleries, sculptures, studios, collections, exhibits, and then click on and check out these things, which is pretty cool. You can locate it on the map if you're interested, and then you can also get directions. We'll get you there from here. So the site is probably loading a little bit slower than we want it to in certain situations. So we're going to go ahead and just optimize these images first. Boom, 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 boom. That issue is closed. Let's go just back to our code here. So now this is where we're starting to get into the point where we've got multiple AIs working. I've got one over on my sidebar. That's my day job, one of my day jobs. And then I've got this over here. Let's just go ahead and arrange our desktop. Here's our art app that's being worked on. Here is our AWID classes. Here's the folder for everything that we're working in. And then this is the browser here.
Static site with images full of 4 to 8 MB JPGs. Let me check how images are referenced and whether there's any build step.
Here. So, that's still working, recording the rule. Pure static site, yes, no build step. 60 images, many are 4 to 8 megabytes. Image reference centrally via the artwork JSON file. Lazy loading is absent. Python and Pill are to use for the load file workflow, so it's available for processing. Convert everything to WebP, re-encode as a sensible.
Now record the rule as a decision.
That's fine. That's fine. We're going to go with A. We'll convert everything to WebP. Sweet. Now back to our AWID classes. Rule applied. Consider the self-contained rule. Apply the in progress for lesson 3. When honest flag of the already published lessons break this rule. Back to the checkpoint. Create a GitHub issue to go back and clean up lessons based on this new rule. And now also keep going on lesson 3.
Good. I now have the picture. Pure static site, index HTML plus art map, interactive 8.
So Claude will just go and going to create a GitHub issue, optimizing web images. So the way that I have this, all of this set up is it's working through that tool GitHub, and it's creating issues and doing things on branches. Like that is, again, when we talk about what we're building here, right? If here's Vanderbilt teacher, the art project is here somewhere. Find repository art app demo. This is the project that's being built here. Oh, we can see the README file needs to be updated. Maybe we'll do that as well as we work on this thing. But here's what it looks like visually, full screen that nobody needs to see right now. Let's go and pull this over here and then here a little bit. Makes that easier. Keep them all moving, right? This is like where task hopping is super important. Being able to flip flop between tasks is super important, I would argue. Let's see here. There's got to be a picture of some art. Why can I not search? Why can I not search? All we are saying. Now the squirm, that's cool. I might even create like a master issue template with all of the things we're trying to build here. Probably not necessary.
Module 3 lessons report all pass. Some artifacts were already partly written from the interrupted first dispatch. The agents completed and verified them, confirming with a consolidated check across Module 3.
Cool. Right. So we'll see. Module 1 lesson. What lesson are we on here? Lesson 3. Can you trust it? Hey, kiddo. Where's that name coming from? So this is getting kind of gross and weird right now because it's not module 0. It's not magic that. So can you trust it? What is this? Is this? I understand what that naming convention is. Can you organize the folder by modules with lessons as subfolders? And then why are you using different names for things versus what you have them called out for in the course outline map? File names,
Committed
everything should be aligned.
D558B5 and pushed. Opening the PR, closes number 7.
Yeah, this is gross because like this needs to line up. I should be able to look at this to see this. So we'll get some organization here now, we hope, as part of this creation. And then we should be able to see more about what's going on here. Because can you trust it makes no freaking sense. Oh. Lesson 3, module 1. What is it? It has nothing to do with this alignment here. We'll see what it says. I love you.
Are you talking to your AI?
Talking to you.
Me too, your work.
Yes. Oh, I hope I didn't get muted again.
Both done. Cleanup tracked. Issue number 8. Clean up published lessons to follow the self-contained rule. Lists the specific cross-references in the locked module
60
0
new
files
web
and
59
authorizing the
deleted
fix
originals
for the
for
immutability
edit
policy.
Claude
Lesson 3
excluded.
complete.
Committing,
Committing, pushing, and opening the
558
PR. And PR number 9 opened. Closes number 7.
Clean the kitchen tomorrow morning. Tired. Falling asleep up there.
I'm confused still by the file naming. Why does nothing match with the course outline map? Because module 1, foundational AI, makes no sense here. Let's see what's going on over at our friendly art app. See, and again, this is where you got to check it, right? So like the outline map is organized and the subsections.
Here's the honest, concrete
yeah,
answer.
You screwed up.
The outline map.
We need to make sure that the organization of this project from course, module, lesson is all connectable through the documentation. So the course outline was approved. You should be referencing the course outline when you update, create new content. We're going to go ahead and do the image compression over on the art app and then add in lazy loading. And then that should resolve some of the slow loading times that Jason identified earlier today. And then off screen, we got one of our other projects working. And I am tired.
Done. Here's the summary. Result issue number 14 branch optimize images web, PR number 15, closes number 14. Image optimization, approach A, web. All 60 raster images converted to web.
So now,
Q8.
because that app is, oops, sorry there. Ooh, wait a second.
Here's the honest, concrete answer. The outline map and the file names
pixelized
are
now.
2 different naming systems I never connected. Look at what each one actually uses.
These
The
are
outline
okay.
map is organized entirely by module 0123 and subsections like 1A1D. It maps concepts into modules. It contains no lesson names and no file names at all, so there was never a file name in the map to match against in the first place. The file names are 01, 02, 03, just creation order, the order I happen to build them, plus a descriptive slug. The number is which lesson I made first, not which module. So not only do they not match, the number.
Let's go. All right, so now come back over here, keep that moving. Right here, can you verify the thumbnail image for One City Many Moments exhibit is not showing up? Oh, now it is. Now it is. Now it is. Never mind. Sweet, sweet, sweet.
References look correct. Web. Let me see the full structure around this entry and confirm the files exist on
That's a
disk.
low-res picture out of the jump. That's why. should load faster now. Why did that one get turned horizontal? Bum, 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 bum. Cool, 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 cool. All right, so that's good. Sweet, we can close that. Close that window. That project's done. Keep on keeping on. It's almost done. You notice this green bar down here. I'll talk about that right now while this works. This is the context window. That's how full our brain is. The more full our brain gets, the more we forget. The less room there is for our brain. I don't know. It's late. Should probably stop now. I think we're in a good spot. Because then we can get those other lessons out here this morning. We'll come back over here and go to Claude to see. Claude here is synced with my computer, so my computer can be running all night, so I can go get ready while keeping the things moving. This one over here we'll just let finish out. And I think I'm just going to call it tonight, folks. Holy smokes, what a long day. 3.5 hour stream. And this does take a long time, but what we're setting up here is a pretty powerful tool. Simple templating that will go ahead and provide some nice lesson content to our learners eventually when that's published. All right, peace.